All right, so as you see that this is the TWT risk disclaimer. So if you want to pause the video, you can actually read the rest of what this has to say. All right, so can everyone hear me okay? You can either unmute your mic or you can type in the chat box, the Facebook chat box. So I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. Okay. So again, I wanted to welcome you to the webinar for the 20-minute binary. I mean, this webinar is actually going to be really quick. I just want to show you guys, where to enter, how to exit, and what to actually look for. There's only going to be one rule. Well, you can say two rules. There's going to be only two sets of rules and for this strategy, and the rules are actually very, very, very easy. So let me go ahead and show my chart. As you see, I got the disclaimer up there. So I'm not sure if you took the time to read that, but I am also recording this webinar too as well. But again, it's going to be really quick. And then at the end, I'll see if you guys have any questions, and then I'll answer your questions. And I know we got a lot of new people on the webinar, so I want to welcome you too. The 20-minute binaries is very exciting. I've actually had it showing for, I think we had it posted for 2 days. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was posted for 2 days. Yeah, I think it was posted for 2 days. Well, it was actually streaming for 2 days. And the 2 days, what we had streaming was we had the ES. ES would actually be. Oh, does anybody see my screen? Or do you see a blank screen? Oh, it's blank? Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I could fix that. Uh, what about now? Is it blank? Okay. Let me make sure that everyone can see it. I want to log in so I can actually see it too. Make sure. Okay. Okay. So everyone should be able to see everything then. So what we had posted last week is we actually had posted, we had ES, which is US 500. We had YM, which is WS 30 on the 20-minute binaries. And then I actually had TF, and I can't remember what TF is. Is it the NASDAQ? Hold on, let me pull up. Anyone know what TF is? Russell? So TF is Russell, and then what's NQ? NQ is the NASDAQ, right? I only ask because I don't really trade those two on a basis. My two favorite are ES and YM. The other ones I rarely pay attention to. But just for the strategy, I'm actually going to post the other two. So if you all have any questions about which currency or not currency, which indices these actually are, I'll find it and then I'll post it for you, just so you'll know what it is and where to find it in Nadex. But what I wanted to do is let me actually go to one or two of the charts just to make everything bigger here. So last week when we were actually really posting this, just me and one other person was actually were the ones trading it. You notice that, I mean, you'll have the same arrows like you do in like we do with the Forex or the binaries. It's the same strategy, but the only rule, so two rules, so you might want to write this down. So the rule one is you can actually trade any arrow. Any arrow that you see, you can actually trade it. Now, one rule is where you don't take an arrow is whenever you see something that's way above the cloud like this, and you have an arrow that's actually pointing up, and vice versa. If it's actually down below the cloud, way below the cloud, and you have an arrow pointing outside the cloud, like pointing down, those are the ones you do not take in the direction that the arrow is actually telling you. 9 times out of 10, it actually wants to come back towards the cloud. So what you actually do is, if you wanted to take this trade, you would actually short it, because you just reverse the trade, so you don't trade it in the direction that it's going. But anything else, you can actually take it. This right here pointing towards the cloud, that's perfect. That's what you want to see. So here, right here inside the cloud pointing down, I mean anywhere in the cloud, if it's pointing up, pointing down, you could take it. I actually tried to back test the 20-minute binary for the last 20 days. Unfortunately, I'm not done with the testing. But as you see, I posted the results from just last week. And just last week, between the three indices, which was YM, ES, and NQ. Just between those three, I think it was 82 wins and 3 losses between the three, which is actually great. This is excellent. And as I was trying to back test and going back through some, I noticed that right now ES has at least one loser a day, almost. There's some days where it didn't have any losers, but at least one day. I have not come across one that lost more than 2 times in a day, as long as you follow that rule. Now, you'll see a lot of these with an arrow pointing outside of the cloud. You do not want to take those going outside. I actually did not follow my same rule, and which I actually posted in the group where I was actually in the trade. I said the arrow is actually pointing away from the cloud, so it's going to be a struggle if we got into this strike. And we did get into that strike, and it actually did exactly what I was saying. It reversed. So we actually lost that trade, but we actually won the next one that we actually got into, which was, let's see if I can, I believe I'm on, yep, 4-2. I actually don't know which one we took. I think we took this one. Yeah. All right, so we took the 1040. It was a 1040 trade. It was actually expiring at 11, I believe. So I think that's the one that we actually took. So we lost this one, and we took this one. Yeah, we lost this one, but we actually won the next one. Now, the key thing is when you're actually buying or looking for a strike. So just like with the Forex or the binary strategy, when I tell you to look for the middle strike, it's actually going to be hard to find a middle strike when you're actually looking at the 20-minute binaries. So what you actually want to do is you want to look for a strike that's closest to the close of the previous candle. So whenever you get an arrow, you want to be as close as you can to where the close of the last candle was. Doesn't matter about the open of the candle that you have the arrow on, because this candle can open down here. It can actually open above here. And when you do that, you kind of miss the whole strategy. The whole strategy is that these arrows are actually pretty much telling you is that it's going to close below the close of the previous candle, not close below the previous open. I'm sorry, not the previous open, but the current candle open, but the previous close. I mean, you'll see a lot of these where it'll open up. I mean, just like with I don't know if I can zoom in on this one. I mean, just like we're here, I mean, we don't know how far the candle will actually go. We just know that it's going to go either above here or it's going to be below here. And what we want is we want a strike that's going to be as close to this close. So this close at about 20, 57.55. So on Nadex, you would want to look for a strike that's within, I would say, not even, you would want to be within 75, like 0.75 from each other. I would even say 0.25. So if this is at 57.50, yeah, if this closed at like 57.57, I'm sorry, 57.51, then you would want to buy a strike that's probably right around 57.75, or on the bottom end 57.25. So you want to be as close as possible to that strike. Now, there is plenty of times or plenty of chances where you can get these strikes lower than $50. So my ultimate goal is to provide you with trades that you can actually get in with the $50 risk and take full profit for that $50 risk. So a 1-to-1 risk ratio, which is actually great. It's going to be really hard to find that in this industry, but we've been able to produce that for you. With the indices, the 20-minute binaries, it's designed to actually literally take full profit. I haven't seen one. Now, they do come close. And remember, that's because you have to make sure you're within that strike. Because I know someone else that actually tested these 20-minute binaries for me, and she actually took the wrong strike. So a couple of us won the trade, but she lost the trade because she got the wrong strike. If I'm also watching during the daytime, and which is it's kind of hard for me sometimes, but if I'm watching, I'll actually call out what strike to actually get, and I actually did that in the group. So I actually called out the best strike that you can actually get. Now there is times where you'll have a really long pullback before you actually go higher. That is one of the times where you can actually get the strike at least at 20 or maybe even $10 to actually risk. And I can actually show you one of those. I think that happened on one of the other members in the group actually took the trade. Let's see if I can go back. It was like towards the close. Here it is right here. All right, this candle here, really extremely long candle. So it actually, opened up and then it dropped right before close. This is at 3:40. So this is 20 minutes before 4 p.m. before the market closes. So this strike dropped. So that strike, it was actually at 20. So probably opened up at 20. I'm sorry, it closed at 2049.74. So the best strikes were probably 2050.00 and below 2049.50. But if you waited to actually get into that strike, with this pullback, you actually could have either picked up the strike here, the strikes that I recommend, or with this pullback and this arrow still here, you can even take it, right where the cloud actually begins or ends. Because remember, this arrow is going to predict that it's actually going to go higher. So I mean, it doesn't happen all the time. It's not 100%. I wish it was 100%, but it's really close. And as we can tell from the from back testing and from the results that I showed you from last week. I mean, that's pretty much it. Oh, this is prime example of what I mean by staying somewhere close to where the close of the candle is, the previous candle. I can't zoom in a little bit more. There we go. All right, so you see how the open of the 20-minute candle actually opened up right above this candle. Now, actually, this one would be either a possible win or a possible loss. It just depends on which strike that you actually got. So if you shorted it, and you actually got to strike a little bit below that close, chances are you probably would have lost. But if you got it like right slightly above where the previous close was, then you would actually win. It's not too many times it'll close this close, but when it does get that close, just make sure you get as close to this close as possible. And if you want to be safe, you can actually take the strike. Now on the short side, take the strike above where the previous close was, and on the long side, like if you want to go long, then take the strike below the previous close. So that's actually where you want to be. So I'm going to post, or I'm going to have streaming all 4 indices for all next week. Now, the one that I highly recommend to stay away from, but again, remember, you guys are just in demo, is the YM. So if I can figure out which one was YM, but YM, especially on Monday, was like back. It was loser, winner, loser, winner, loser, winner, and because I saw that, I didn't want to post the results for that. I'd rather not stream it, but just for demo sakes, and just so you guys can actually see how all of these trade, I'll post all 4, and then I'll keep only the best 3. I mean, that's actually about it. That's all I have to share. This strategy is actually really simple, easy to understand. For some of you, you probably do not know how to use Nadex. If you do not know how to use Nadex, inbox me separately, and then maybe I'll hold or host a different webinar for the new people who actually are not familiar with Nadex and how to actually use Nadex. So I'll actually do that. So right now what I'll do is I'll open it up. I'll unmute, or you can actually unmute your mic if you need to. Ask me any questions that you have. You have me for questions for at least 10 or 15 minutes. So go ahead with your questions if you have any questions. You can either voice your question, or you could type it in that group chat that we have. Right, you're looking for the recommended strikes around the previous close at around $50. Yes. Yeah, YM is Wall Street 30. ES is US 500. The other two, because I don't trade them as much, I'm not too familiar with those, but I'll definitely post what they are. So I guess everyone understands everything. No other questions? Take advantage of this time while you can. Ryan, yes, this is being recorded, and I will post it inside the group. I mean, that's about it. I mean, what I can do is I can actually go back through. Dottie, I will have to talk with you separately. Yeah, I will have to talk with you separately about how to trade Nadex, because I think it's you and I think there's one other person in the group too. Actually, 2 other people in the group too that do not know how to trade Nadex. So I'm trying to see if I could put something together to actually help you 3 out. Unfortunately, I won't be able to train you during the daytime because I'm actually at work. So what I'll probably have to do is I don't know. I'm gonna try to work on something that I can try to help you guys, or I may point you guys to some videos online that actually helps you with Nadex. There's a lot of other videos on YouTube that show you how to use Nadex, but for me to personally help you, um, I could try to probably in the after hours. So we can actually do that. I'll probably do like a webinar for the new people after hours, and then that should help you. Jeff, on the 20-minute binaries, it's all about full profits. You do not have to take profits. With the rate that I've seen, I mean, I'm not saying, and, every trading day is different, but just from what I've seen, if history still repeats itself, this is a solid strategy for full profits. Up to you if you want to take full profits. You can take full profits. And just remember that the 20-minute binaries are only available from 9:40 p.m. and they end at 4 p.m. Jan, Dottie and Jan, so I'll make sure I write that down. I'll get with you too, personally. I'll write it down. All right. And for all of the people who do not know what a take profit is or how to take profit, once you enter a trade, you can set your take profit $20 or $25 or whatever is comfortable for you. You can set the take profit order at any time. So as soon as you place your order, you can enter in your take profit order and take your profits. I mean, it's never anything wrong with taking a profit. It's better than losing. But just be aware that, I mean, you can take profits if you want to, or you can go for full profit. So it's up to you. I mean, demo test it as much as you can next week. And then we may have this going for another week too. So next week, I know for sure we will still, this will still be available. The next following week, I'm pretty sure probably will be available. But I mean, demo test this as much as you can just to get an understanding as to what's going on. I mean, I wish that a lot of you had time to actually demo test this last week because last week was a really good time to actually demo test it. I actually took two live trades. So that one trade I actually lost because I went against my own rule, and then the second trade I actually won. So I actually did it live, and I do a lot of these strategies live because, of course, you don't treat your live account like you would your demo account. And I also gave a few pointers to a couple of you guys on what to actually do with your demo account to actually get it like a live account. What you actually do is you blow through your play money that you have in there. Just make sure you're not on your real account when you do this. But blow through your play money. Nadex gives you about 25 grand. But who starts off with a live account with 25 grand? So if you if you waste the money that you have in your demo account and get it down to maybe $200 or $100, something that you would actually know that you would actually be able to start with. And if you do that, now you're trading your account because you're like, okay, well, all I have is this, and once I'm out, I have to call Nadex. And what if you're actually trading and Nadex is not open? So now you're really, trading it like it's a real account. But you're not, if you do that, you can kind of strict yourself on taking good trades and, not wasting trades. So that's actually what I actually do. That's what I do with my demo account. I treat it just like a live account, but most of the times I take these trades in my live account. But that's just me. Let's see. I'm scrolling through for some more questions. Gary, I will write your name down too. Okay, Jan, I think I'll do that for the nighttime. Gary, my charts can be used to trade non, U.S. binaries, so overseas binaries. Yes, you can actually do it. And I'm thinking next week I want to test the 5 minute strategies with the overseas binaries. I'm actually using Market World, but I know a lot of other people use Boss Capital, and then there's some other brokers out there too. But the only two that I recommend, I mean, of course, I don't work for them, but the only ones I recommend, I haven't used Boss, but Market World, I've used Market World. You get your money in within 2 days. So if you ever do a withdrawal from Market World, you get it within 2 days. So I've withdrawn from them a couple of times, and I've gotten my money back. So nothing wrong with Market World. Now the only thing with Market World is their 5 minutes, or the way their expiration works. You really have to be to get a true 5 minute binary. You actually have to start right before the 5 minute begins. But that's another video. I actually have to do another video on showing you how to enter trades for that. But I will probably test it out myself next week with Market World. So I'll see how the overall results are with overseas binaries. Jeff, I mean, it's possible to have two separate streams. Um, Eventually, I may do that, but for now, especially for me, because I'm streaming the charts on my phone, and with the system that we have, you can actually stream these charts on your phone. It's easy if I stream the indices on the top part and then the Forex on the bottom. So you'll see the indices on the top, Forex on the bottom. So it's actually easier for me to do it that way. So I can see everything from my phone, and it's right there. Okay, any other questions? I'm reading through. I don't see any other questions, but do anyone else have any questions? Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. If you guys were asking me questions, I actually have my volume down, so I'm sorry. But go ahead.
Yeah, we've been talking to you and you haven't heard us.
I'm sorry. I was wondering why I was
I,
so quiet.
I was trying to tell you Tech and the Russell were the other two, so
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
yeah. Hmm.
So does anyone else have any questions? Ralph, Lena, I know you don't have any questions.
I'm
Jeff,
good.
uh, is it Caramel or Caramel? Todd, no, that's not actually true. The $50 mark is not always going to be where the prior candle closed. That's not true. Especially if the candle with the arrow opens up way above the close of the previous candle. And what I mean by is I'll show you this. Now, of course, this wasn't during the times that it was open, but you see the close of this candle. The close of this candle is right here. Now, the open of the previous candle is way above here. So with the open of this candle, this is where the $50 mark is going to be. So if you want a strike that's here, I mean, you can set your work order for $50 and make sure that it's actually close to the close of the previous candle. So not every $50 contract that you see on the next candle is going to be the middle strike. That's not going to be the middle strike. So, just FYI, just be aware of that. Now, I'll try to make sure I call out which strike is the best strike. Because you can always use toss on your phone. If even if you can't look at what the middle strike is here, you can always just if you download toss on your phone, you can turn to these indices, and then you can actually look at what the previous close price was for the last 20 minutes. So you can actually set that, and that's actually what I do is I actually look on my phone, and I can actually tell where the previous strike was, or not strike, but I can tell where the previous close was. Jeff, we're thinking that the beta testing for the group may end at the end of next week. And then after the end of next week, that's actually when but I'm not sure. It may run from next week and then the next following week. But tentatively, next week is going to be the last week for the test group. And then after that, we're going to, start the actual subscription fee. Um, right now, the subscription fee is not decided yet. It just depends on everything that we have going on and the value that we can actually provide to you guys. So I'll know I'll know more sometime next week, you guys. All right. Any other questions? I didn't actually. All right, and actually, what I can actually tell you guys is what I'm actually thinking of for the service is that you would actually have a free week trial with us, or you would have a 2 free week trial with us. The first week, we highly recommend that you actually do it in demo. And then the next following week, it's up to you if you want to go live or continue to do demo. And then after your second week, that's pretty much where you'll start your service, your service fee. Now, if you're in live and during that second week, if you cannot make any money, either we could try to help you a little bit more, or maybe the service may not be for you. But within a week, if you're not able to make money, if you could make money in your demo account, then you're not going to make money live. And then, it's pretty much as simple as that. But with even with the 20-minute binaries, just the 20-minute binaries alone, I mean, as long as you're making sure that you're getting that correct strike. Just last week alone, just trading one contract, and if you took every signal that you actually had, I mean, that was $3,900 or somewhere around there, $3,900. So with $3,900, I mean, you can't complain. But I mean, if that's it and no one else has any questions, I will post this video in the YouTube channel. And then again, if you guys have any other questions, just let me know. And then again, for the new people, I will get with you individually, um, and we'll see if we can get you guys started with Nadex. All right, if no further questions, Sunday the charts will actually start streaming again. Nadex is open at about 6, so you'll see the just the Forex binaries. You won't see the indices until Monday morning. Okay, Jen, I'll accept it. So you won't see the indices until Monday morning, and then also we're going to be still doing the morning calls with me in the morning, and I'm trying to do these every day. Just granted that I get enough sleep at night, but we're going to be trying to do this every day between the hours of 5 to 8. So you'll be trading live with me, demoing. If you're demoing, so just to get you accustomed and used to what to look for and how to trade it. So, and pretty much in the morning, what we're doing is we're doing 5 minute binaries, and then also to catch you up on some other things. We're hoping that we'll be able to provide you with hourly expirations, 2 hour expirations, 3, 4, 5, and 6 hour expirations. So we're working on that. We're testing it to make sure that we can actually do it. And those charts will not be streaming. Those will actually be like either tweeted alerts or text alerts. So that's something that's actually that we're actually doing too. So we're providing you with plenty of opportunities to try to make money with this service. 5 minute binaries, 20-minute binaries, and hourly expirations. So I don't know any other group that's giving it to you just like that. So hopefully this week you guys will get a lot from us. There's also something else that I'm actually testing with the 5 minute binaries. So far with testing, the testing is actually pretty good. We did it Wednesday and Thursday, and just Wednesday and Thursday alone, we got 20 wins and 2 losses, I think. But I'll give you more details on that next week. So I'm always trying to enhance the 5 minute binaries to make them better. I mean, they can't get no worse than what we already started with. So yeah, we're constantly working behind the scenes. So constantly working behind the scenes to improve the service that we're going to provide for you. So and then also, again, if you guys have any questions, any other questions, any help with the charts, from what you're seeing and everything else, Ken is there to help you guys, and also Charles. So just to let you guys know, those two guys, understand and have helped me out a lot with what we have going on. So those guys, you can always go to them for help. If I'm not available, you can always go to them for help. And especially if you know them personally, by all means, you can always go to them for help. And don't forget, Ken is the guy with the little scary rabbit on his profile. So that's Ken. Don't get him confused with any other scary rabbit. I hope he's not the Easter rabbit, but yeah, Todd, I know you've been waiting for a long time. You've been asking me for the longest. Probably one of the people one of the person that's in this group that's been with me the longest would probably be Lena. Lena has been with me through the whole thing. I've been throwing a whole lot of stuff at her to test for me, and she's been testing with me for a lot of things too. So yeah, she's been with me for a while, probably almost a year. And then for some of you, thank you for sticking with TWT. I know it's been a while. I started the service back in November. We started the service. I started calling out alerts, and then I stopped. And I only stopped because I was doing so many other things to try to enhance the signals that I was actually sending out, and I wanted to make sure I provided a good service. I didn't want to be one of those services where, I'm giving you signals and everything is going to be about 50%, and I don't want to give you 50%. I want to give you better because I know what I want. And so, I stopped calling out the signals only because I was enhancing my service and doing other things behind the scenes. And then plus the 20-minute binaries started, and then the 5-minute binary started. And me personally, I like lower expirations, and only because, I should say shorter expirations, and only because I don't want to wait 2 hours or 3 hours or an hour for my contract to expire to either be in the money or out of the money. I want to know right then and there. And then plus, sometimes my time is valuable, and I don't have time to sit there and wait for a trade to finish. I'd rather be in and out of a trade. So that's my personal doing. But a lot of people like long term expirations, and I want to be able to cater to you for that. So I'm actually trying to enhance that service, and once I do, will that actually start too. Jen, yes, Nadex offers mobile application. So I actually trade from my phone. I trade from my phone all the time. I don't even open up Nadex on a computer. So yes, you could trade from your phone. You can also no, you don't really need toss. You could download the application for this stream on your phone, and you can actually watch the charts from your phone. And then you can always switch over to Nadex on your phone to actually make trades. Thanks, Ralph. Appreciate it. All right. If there's no other questions or anything, I'm going to end the webinar. So it's like speak now, or I wouldn't say forever hold your peace because I'm always around, but speak now. Let me know why you have me. And if not, you guys have a nice Easter weekend, and I will talk with you on Sunday. All right, send it.